Okay, hey friends. So we are doing fuss-free makeup today, and I thought that it would just make sense to call it that because what we really want at the end of the day is not a lot of fuss with our makeup, but be able to put on whatever makeup we have on, put it on well so our skin looks the best, to be able to harness tips and tricks and things, good tools, and how to apply it best. And then I really want to go through some product color matching, especially with the new Skin Twin foundation. So I'm going to go through and start off by just a little introduction, what clean makeup really encompasses. Then we're going to go into me putting on makeup, which I feel like is so funny and ironic for 7 p.m. because I'm just going to go upstairs and take it off. Can't even go on a date night or anything. So maybe my husband and I have to like make tea and sit on the front porch. We'll see. But anyways, okay, welcome. I am Dr. Megan Burt. If you guys do not know who I am a chiropractor turned online business owner, podcaster, mom, and Beautycounter consultant. And so what I do and what encompasses my days is being a wife and a mom and a homemaker. And then I have my business that I run one day a week, and in the margins the other days of the week. And it just works out really well for us and really well for our family. And I never would have thought, had you told me a decade ago when I graduated chiropractic school, because it has been a decade now, that I would be talking makeup and talking, like showing you how to apply makeup. But I love it. It's just so fun. It's so fun to just be a part of a team and be a part of a company that is making innovative products and products that work. And here is my story of getting into makeup. So the whole reason that I signed up for Beautycounter in the first place and started, I guess, selling it was because I wanted an affiliate program for my blog. Because when I was in practice, I would have people fill out a health intake form when I was doing functional medicine work. And one of it was, do you use conventional hair products, beauty products, makeup products? And most women put yes. And I had no solution for that. I was not into skincare then. If you know my skincare story, I barely washed my face. But aside from that, I was still using my conventional mineral makeup filled with, I'm sure, heavy metals and fillers, and it just was not tested because it worked. And I had many times on my extremely limited budget gone to Whole Foods, gone to our health food store, bought stuff online, lipsticks, foundation, especially foundation, blush, all this stuff. And I would put on this weird powdered foundation that kind of like sit on your skin, and you went outside and like the wind blew it off. And I'd go to work and pretty much my face looked like this, no makeup at the end of the day. I was like, this is not good. I need something that's going to actually do what it says it's going to do, that it's going to work. My makeup's going to last a couple hours even. It's going to apply well. And so I just would go back to my own mineral makeup, because toxic makeup is better than no makeup. I mean, honestly, and I have done so much for my health, had done so much, had the knowledge base. So a lot of times it is the knowledge of clean products, but sometimes, like for me, it wasn't the knowledge, it was finding the product. And so Beautycounter was really the first time I heard about it, hook, line, and sinker. I am joining this company because the products worked. They're high performing, which is huge. Because anybody can throw together something and call it safe. Does it actually work? So do what it says it's going to do. But secondly, and we'll get into this, they tested for heavy metals. And that heavy metal testing was like, I mean, I worked with heavy metal detox. I have detoxed mercury and lead from my own body for like a course of a couple of years. And so it was just this big thing to me. And for a company to say, we understand and recognize that heavy metals in cosmetics is a big thing, and we test for it, and we batch test all of our products before they go to market, that was all I needed. And I was like, done. Let's completely change all of my makeup. And it was a process. I didn't order it all at once. I was like, we're going for it. And I have not turned back. And I'm so happy with the products. And the more that I have been a part of this, the better our products have gotten, because we have more products, which is super cool. So I want to talk safety a little bit before we get into makeup. So in conventional makeup, we've got a lot of different issues. And when it comes to safety and ingredients, one of them is just the sheer lack of testing. And so you're going to have a lot of heavy metals. Sorry, my hair is driving me crazy. It's like knotting itself up. But you're going to have a lot of heavy metals just because they're not tested, and you're just getting any colorant or any source, like a mineral makeup is going to be from minerals from the ground. And if you don't test it, then it'll just be laden with heavy metals. And so there could be artificial fragrances, there could be natural colorants that are not good for you, there could be synthetic colorants that are endocrine disruptors, there could be endocrine disrupting plastics, petroleum. There's a lot of things in our makeup you just don't want to be slathering on your face. And especially when it comes to lipstick, is with lipstick, so the reason that lipstick doesn't have a really high, I guess, safety standard is because technically you don't eat it. But we all know you eat your lipstick. Not intentionally, you don't eat it for a snack. You put lipstick on, you're going to ingest it. But because it's not food, it doesn't need to follow the same food rules. And the thing with beauty products is there has been no major law that regulates the beauty industry since 1938. And so what that means is we only have 30 ingredients in any chemical ingredient, anything that are banned from our beauty products. So they can put pretty much anything in it, and the testing that needs to be done, if it needs to be done, is so subpar. And so if you don't test, you don't know, and you can sell it and think it's fine. And so just like with skincare, the labels, oh, it's natural, it's green, doesn't mean much. Organic, if you say something's organic, it has to have 1% organic ingredients. That's not organic to me. But that's the labeling. So that's why we like to use clean and safe. So clean and safe is going to mean just, we are elevating it to mean something different, because at Beautycounter, we don't ban just 30 things like the US. We don't ban 1,400 like the European Union. We ban 1,800 ingredients. And so that means that our products, every single one of them, skincare, body, makeup, you can trust it to be clean and safe, not disrupt your hormones, not be a known carcinogen, not have any negative effect on your human health. And that's a big deal. It's a big deal for me personally. It's a big deal that I'm not adding to the toxic burden of my body. And it's a big deal that my two girls, which are only 4 and almost 2, but let me tell you, a 2 and a 4-year-old, they get into mommy's makeup, and they like to help me with makeup, and they like the shimmery eyeshadows, and they like the lip glosses and stuff. And when holiday comes around, we have our lip gloss vaults. My daughter always gets one because I know it's safe. And so is she wearing makeup now? No. But is she playing with mommy's makeup? Yes. And I know that it is safe stuff, and that's huge. So we are going to talk about natural versus synthetic. This science-y stuff just really excites me. So even though we're talking fuss-free makeup, which we'll get into all that, I love talking about this because I think that there's a certain amount of information that we all need to have to be able to feel empowered and have a reason why behind us making a good decision about our health. If I just told you, hey, there's a clean makeup and it's going to cost you more, and you have to get rid of your old stuff, because let's just be honest, when I was wearing the mineral stuff, it's really hard for us women to go, I have to create an entirely new new makeup routine and get all new products. That's a big deal. We're used to what we're used to. So if I just said, there's something clean, you should get it, it's better for you, but it's more expensive. So like, here's a link to buy a bunch of stuff. You'd be like, but why do I need that? I love my lipstick. I love my whatever it might be. And so I like to empower you with some reasons why. So we will get into more heavy metal details, but I want to talk synthetic and natural colorants, because this is something that Beautycounter does and uses. So the buzzword is natural. Oh, everything natural is better. Everything organic is better. So when we look at it as food, for example, well, yes, an organic carrot is better than a conventional carrot. An organic carrot is better than some robot carrot, which doesn't exist. I guess you could call GMOs robot foods. Yes, GMO corn. We'll call that like a synthetic food. And so you can look at that and then draw conclusions and say, well, if it's the same for food, let's just transition to makeup and say, well, natural must be better than synthetic. Here's the deal with natural or with truly clean cosmetics and what Beautycounter does. So Beautycounter uses some synthetic colors. It was a long time, I think about 3 years into Beautycounter before they even had a red lipstick. And I don't wear red lipstick, it's not my thing, but red lipstick is a lot of women's things. And people were asking for red lipstick. But we did not put a red lipstick out for so long because the natural red colors negatively affect your health. They are laden, reds and pinks, laden with heavy metals. They are not good at all. And so we just didn't put one out until we could find a red colorant that did not disrupt our endocrine system, was not full of heavy metals. And what we landed on was a synthetic color. So you could be like, oh man, we're not supposed to eat artificial colors. You're not supposed to ingest them in high amounts, but it is safer based on our testing to have a synthetic red and some synthetic bright pinks than it is to have a natural one. So here's the thing. So because we have such rigorous standards, the European Union allows 153 colorants in color cosmetics. The US allows 65. Beautycounter, only 18 approved colorants. And so we do a lot with those 18 colorants, but it's very important they don't have any negative side effects. And so natural isn't always better than synthetic. You want healthy and you want safe. So when it comes to heavy metals, here's the thing. Nobody adds heavy metals to their products. Nobody's like, you know, your lipstick could use a little bit of lead. Nobody adds them. But the thing is, the raw materials, lead and mercury really especially, is in that raw material, which means it's going to get into some of the makeup. So here is the thing with that. Based on what I know in the beauty industry and in the heavy metal industry, if you see heavy metals as an issue, you are going to do the proper testing. And that is going to elevate you as a company, which some companies do, but most companies do not. I know Beautycounter, and I know one other, I think, that tests. I don't know any other companies that test for heavy metals, and especially at the safety standards. We talk about it. We talk about it a lot because it's a big deal. And so here's some more backstory. So within, okay, let me get all of the data correct. I want to make sure that I get it correct. So when they measure heavy metals, they use a spectrometer. And so the limit for makeup is 10 parts per million for heavy metals. And so most of the spectrometers, their lowest limit is 10 parts per million. So if you put your product in there and it's like lower than detectable limits, it could be 9.9 parts per million. 10 parts per million is too much heavy metals. It's going to affect your body. Beautycounter standard is less than 1 part per million or undetectable. And so we use a spectrometer that goes down to 1 part per million. And so so you could say like, oh, well, you both have undetectable limits. Well, where are your undetectable limits, higher or lower? And so Beautycounter batch tests every single product 3 times when it comes in, middle, when it goes out. We have in-house testing and we have third-party testing because we know that you can't just say, I just totally trust a company doing their own testing. We have third-party testing too. And so we want to make sure that that duplicates what Beautycounter gets inside of our lab, that we're getting it third-party also. And I think that this is just, it's just a really cool thing to be able to look at. And you can see Beautycounter's heavy metal reports. There's a blog post. Everything is well under 1 part per million. Most things is 0.1 parts per million or under. And I want to say, as much as I want to be like, hey, You could have a totally lead-free product, or there's no heavy metals in that. That's actually a little, like, you're not being very truthful in advertising because they're present and they could potentially get into things. They could potentially get into supplements. The big part is testing and make sure it's super, super, super low or undetectable. But to say it's totally free of that, I don't know if that's a possible thing. Okay, let's move on to some makeup. So we're going to talk first Flawless in 5. So you can actually purchase Flawless in 5 on our website. It's 6 products. Foundation, and you can choose between Skin Twin and Dew Skin, concealer, brow, whether it be brow pencil or gel, lip gloss, and blush. That's all you need for putting on your makeup. So I'm going to do Flawless. Did I say mascara? 6 products. Mascara. Goodness, you need mascara. I don't know if you can hear my little one crying upstairs. She's a daddy. Both of them are. So she's either frustrated or hers. I'm using Skin Twin. Okay, I gotta get back on. Let me explain what I'm doing here before I just keep going. I forget. Usually I'm doing this on Instagram stories. I'm like, hurry up, get the story done, because we're in the longer thing here. Skin Twin, brand new foundation. This is lightweight, has hydrophobic, so water unloving, water-phobic pigments. And so we're going to talk about color matching with this, but it has 18 colors. It's awesome. I use not quite a whole pump, and I'm using a Real Techniques brush. I got this at Target for somewhere between $5 and $10. It's really awesome. I think that this with a little tighter weave works better with Skin Twin than our Beautycounter retractable foundation brush, but it's still awesome. So what I do, put a little on my cheeks, little on my forehead, and then I start to circle out. Now, Skin Twin is buildable, which means I could put this on twice. And I only used not quite a full pump because I just don't need a ton of coverage. With doing all of my skincare, with my counter time, with my peel at night, with my All Bright C serum in the morning, I don't feel like I need a ton of foundation. I just like that even, kind of even tone, adding a little bit more. But because it's buildable, if you want a fuller coverage, you just let it dry and then reapply. So we also have Dew Skin, and I'm going to talk about that. Dew Skin comes, I believe it's 6 colors: fair, light, medium, tan, dark, and deep. And so that is a very lightly tinted moisturizer. That's what I meant to say. Very lightly tinted. It doesn't have very much color to it, but it also has SPF 20, which it's perfect, I feel like, for the summer when you barely want anything on. Then what I do is just kind of rub my hands, make sure it's all absorbed and just in nicely. Every once in a while with my skin, I have very dry skin. My skin gets drier. It'll just get a little dry here. I just make sure to blend it in. I haven't noticed though with my dry skin having it be a really big issue. Having liquid foundation, Beautycounter just does a really good job with it, so it works for all skin types. Okay, next is the concealer pen. When you purchase this, in order to get the concealer out, you need like 75 clicks, but after that, you only need 2 clicks. So I do 2 clicks. What I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna grab my mirror here and watch. It's a lot there. You draw down, and then you draw over. I also use this as an eyelid primer to get ready for my eyeshadow. And then what you're gonna use is your ring finger, and I don't always take this much time to do it because the Flawless in 5 is supposed to take you 5 minutes. So sometimes I just rub it in. But if you tap and pat with your ring finger, because it's your weakest finger, so you're not gonna be yanking on your delicate eye skin. We don't wanna add any more wrinkles if we don't have to, right? And if you tap it in, you're gonna get a little bit thicker coverage. So in Skin Twin, I use medium 310. And then in concealer, I use light. Sometimes I'll go fair in the winter. There we go. And then when I just rub it in up here. When you are choosing a concealer color, you want, if you feel like you're in between colors, you're going to want to choose a color lighter versus darker, because we don't want a darker shade because it's going to make the dark circles on your eyes darker. If anything, you want lighter to kind of bring the light and kind of uplift versus make it heavier appearing. Okay, then we get to talk brows. I didn't do brows forever, and you can see I do not have very many brows at all. I wish I did. I just don't. I never have. My thyroid looks good. You can't take the chiropractor out of me, the functional medicine doctor. If you have little to no eyebrows, the last third, especially if you have really thick eyebrows and they're just suddenly not there, check your thyroid, especially Hashimoto's and autoimmune thyroid, checking those antibodies and finding a really good practitioner, probably not a medical doctor, endocrinologist, they don't know how to read that stuff. And so you really look into that. So that's something. I've always had thin eyebrows. My thyroid looks good. So they're just always going to be thin. But I didn't want to pencil them in because I thought that everybody's going to know I pencil my eyebrows in. And then if I don't have makeup on one day, it's going to look really weird. It does not look weird. I think it looks great. I like framing my face. Remember, your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So they might look a touch bit different. And I like a really natural brow. So I'm not going to teach you how to make it look thicker and bigger and do all these different things. I'm going to fill it in. We also have a brow gel. Because mine are so thin, I don't have enough eyebrows to really grab all that pigment, and I think it's a lot harder to put on. The pencil is a lot easier and lasts longer, but thicker brows, really love it. So here's what I'm going to do. This sounds kind of funny, but I'm going to draw a line from here to there, okay? I made it a little thicker. See how there's a line there? And if I see it in person, it's kind of like, what? That looks weird. But trust me, then you're going to pretend that your pencil is little hair-like strokes. And that's what you're going to do all the way to where the hair is longer. And then you'll just draw it down. And then I always kind of step back, take a peek. But that line there, and if you also can lift up a little bit because you'd want your brows to go up more than down, and you can already see that just changes everything. It's a little thick. I think I had a pretty big line that I started drawing because I really wanted you guys to see it. Oh well, then you can see right here, can you see that there's just a little pencil that shouldn't be there. And all you need to do is just take your finger and kind of disappears. There we go. And we'll finish up here. What I finished doing, I think we're good. I take the brush at the end. So Christy Coleman is our makeup artist, our chief artistic officer, and she just loves brushes, and she's so good at all these tips. These are all Christy's tips. I love watching her at seminars or watching her videos that she does on Facebook or YouTube. And so that just kind of blends it in and makes it look more natural. Okay, then we're gonna move on to blush. You could do bronzer. We have, I'm not gonna do bronzer though. We have the powder blushes, and we also have the cream stick blushes. These are awesome. I love them. I just really love the powder. It's just my preference. But the stick is great because all you have to do is put a dot or two, and just here, especially the hibiscus is really bright. You just rub it in with your fingers, and it's easy, simple, quick. You don't need a brush. I just really have always loved the powder. I just smile a little bit. I am using Melon. It sounds like it would be orange. It's not. Nectar is a little oranger. It just has a really cool pink, but not too bright. Oh look, guava is pretty bright if you want something brighter. I really like it, but it's a little too bright. Nectar, orange here with a tiny shimmer, and date is great for the fall. or if you have a little bit darker, tanner skin tone, Date looks awesome. It's a little dark for me. It's so pigmented. So I have had this blush, and you can see I'm like nowhere hitting the pan. Had it for over a year. And so the Date is very pigmented. And so I use just a tiny bit and really kind of brush it in. So one thing you can't tell right now, but I'm going to show you, this is outside of the Flawless in 5, is our mattify powder. So when I use my morning skincare routine, my skin is really glowing using the All Bright C Serum and then the Counter Time Soft Cream after it. It just looks super healthy and glowing. And every once in a while, number one, if I want to set my makeup, but number two, if it's just a little glowy and I want it a little more matte, I get the mattifying powder. Just put a little, I don't even need that much. I grab my big brush, and this will set my makeup all day. And especially with, it also kind of helps blend the blush into, but especially with the skin twin being with the hydrophobic pigments, my makeup at the end of the day looks like makeup. Hi, sweet girl. I'm doing a video. I don't know what that is. Is that oils? I have a visitor, friends. It's bath time. I don't know what oils this is, so let's say no right now. Mama's putting on makeup. Do you like makeup? Mm-hmm. What kind of makeup does Mommy use? Beautycounter, right? Beautycounter. Yeah. And what do you like the best? What?
I like window washing.
You like window washing because you're on camera? What? Okay, tell me what you like. This is her favorite from the last holiday. Why?
It's like put it on your eye. I want to show you.
You're going to show me. Oh, okay. We are live, Chica. Okay. There's always visitors. Oh, we just took a bath and now we have shimmers on. Oh, dear friends. You can see it just kind of sets and mats the makeup. Okay. You can put that on. Okay, can you go out with Daddy, please? Thanks, sweet girl. Okay. See you later. You always have little visitors sometimes, and that's totally fine. Okay, what's the next step of makeup? So Flawless in 5, lips, mascara. So I'm not gonna put my mascara on right now or my lips right now because I want to do like the full makeup. So I want to do, hi, sweet girl. Excuse me, friends. She really wants to see Mama today. So we moved houses, and I have a main floor office, which is really lovely, except for the fact that sometimes we have little helpers in, but I don't mind, and I know you guys don't mind either. Okay, so we're gonna do eyeshadow. I have 2 palettes here. We have 3, and funny, I don't have like the one I talk about the most. We have the Romantic palette and the Classic. Classic's gonna be these warm oranges, and then this Romantic is gonna be a lot lighter, kind of cooler tones. I love both of them. I'm just gonna do Classic because I think you're gonna see it a little bit better on. Romantic is a little bit more subtle. So you can see the ones, first of all, you can see the ones my oldest has used. Penny in the middle, so we've really dug into that. But I love Ivory. Sorry, you can't really see. I love this Ivory right here. And then I love Sahara and Suede. We're just gonna go with Sahara here. And I have another little one who wants to join me. These come with a mirror here. So that's a removable mirror, which is really nice. So just right on the lids. Open please, here. We're gonna do Sahara. That's my almost 2-year-old. Open please, okay. Open please. Okay, let's see. Hi, sweet girl. Hi, how are you? Just gonna join me for a little bit. Okay, open please. How are you? Oh, good. What's Mama doing? I'm doing my eyes, yeah. Okay, so what you're gonna wanna do And you can see I tap here and it kind of gets the extra off just so it doesn't fall down here. And if you're doing a really smoky eye, do your eyes before you do your foundation, because what that's going to do then is you can, if anything kind of drops, you can push it aside. But I'm not doing something too bold. Then you want to pat, and you can see how I'm patting it in. If you're just brushing in, you're losing a lot of like the payoff of the color, and then you're just kind of like getting it off to the side too. Then I'm going to use in my creases, let's use copper. It's such a pretty color. And I didn't love this warm palette at first because I was like, oh, it's not really me. But then one day I was like, nope, kind of like it. So I would love like a 4 palette of some really cool neutrals because I use those first. Okay. And it doesn't look too bold. I'm always worried that it's going to be so bold looking, but it's really fine. And then I'm going to do ivory because I have a lot of kind of real estate to work with here. And then I kind of just blend it in there too. You going to leave, Abby? Okay. We're going to put it right here. Perfect. I gotta close the door. Okay. This is life. I know you guys can relate, and that's just fine. Okay. Open, please. I think maybe it's just a family party time. Okay, one more time. Okay, honey, come on in. Hi. Maybe mommy does it too close to bedtime. Who wants to join me at 6 a.m., right? Everybody's sleeping. Or 9 p.m. I don't know if I'm game at 9 p.m. So I'm not going to put this on eyeliner. If you love eyeliner, we have our Beautycounter one, but the one I've found that's a little more precise is Isla. And so I don't know what they do for heavy metals. I just know that it's a little bit safer of a brand, and that's something that I've used. If we're talking mascara, I have a lot that I use. Somebody stole my other one. There we go. It was moved around by tiny hands for a second there. Okay, so Beautycounter has volumizing, which I just dropped, and lengthening. These are not my daily go-tos, but I'm going to say if you have sensitive skin and you are more of a sensitive body, you're going to want to choose Beautycounter. Another thing, Beautycounter's mascaras are probably the safest out there because we ban 1,800 ingredients. It's very difficult to make a high-performing and safe mascara, and I think we've done a great job with both of these, and we're always working on mascara formulations, but just realize that is why. The volumizing is a little drier, so what you're going to do is just kind of blend it around, and it has a nice, you can kind of see it there, nice thick brush. The lengthening, if you have really thick long lashes, this is awesome. I do not, but it has this really cool precision brush, and it's really awesome for lower lashes too. I'm not going to show you this one because I don't like it. So I have Honest, and they do a really good job, and it's a good price point also. And then I'm trying Thrive Cosmetics. It's called Liquid Lash Extensions. A lot of people said that was really great. Thank you very much, sweetheart. I have somebody in my makeup. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. This stuff's kind of hard to get off though. It's kind of like wax on your lashes. But, are you dancing? Oh yeah? She is kissing herself in the mirror. Come here, Abby. Hi, are you having fun? Okay, mascara takes so long, friends. I'm just going to do one coat and try to be as quick as I can so that we just don't sit here. I don't have any tips on mascara. I do have a tip though. I am not the greatest at taking it off every night, but if you do, you are supposed to. There we go. Have longer, more luscious, and beautiful eyelashes. I try to remind myself that. Okay, I'm gonna put on Orchid Lip Sheer. We have 3 different ones. We have lip sheers, lip glosses, and Color Intense lipsticks. So Lip Sheer and Color Intense are both lipsticks. Thank you, honey. I don't know what that is. And then Orchid is one of the lip sheers, and it's got quite a bit of color to it. The Color Intense lipsticks, number 1, the colors are more intense. And number 2, it's long lasting. The Lip Sheer, this is more shiny. The Color Intense is more matte. And then we have lip gloss, and I usually go with a lip gloss. This is a little bit bolder than I'll do for my everyday. This is a tip from my mom. If you do that, you can see all the lipstick on my finger. So I just went like this. And then it gets all the lipstick right there. Normally gets on your teeth. And you can trust my mom for that tip because she has been wearing a super bright pink lipstick forever, and we have gotten her since Beautycounter launched all their Color Intense. She loves them. They last so long, and so I don't wear them as much because I don't do as much bold as she does. It just works for her so well. And so anyways, you can take that suggestion from her. So eyes, got everything done except one thing. I'm going to show you the Halo highlighter, and it's not like glittery or anything. You put it right here. You could put a little here, here, and here, and it just adds just the littlest bit of like dimension and glow, and I love finishing up that way. So that is my full face of makeup. But let's talk a little bit of color matching with Skin Twin. Okay, brand new, 18 shades. First, you're gonna find your shade category: fair, light, medium, tan, dark, or deep. Then within there, you're going to start trying to figure out undertones. So with undertones, you are either going to be a warm or a cool neutral. And I'm making this really simplistic because I don't know it that much more complex. I don't know it much more complex than that, but I want to make it really simple for you. So with that, here's one thing. You're going to look at the veins in your wrist. So if the veins in your wrist are more green, you're most likely going to be a warmer undertone, golden undertone. If you have blue purple veins, it's going to be more of a cool and neutral undertone. So you really want to pay attention to undertones versus just, so let's say you are, oh, you playing with my lipstick. If you are a neutral undertone, let's take light to medium, because I'm going to give you my example. In the winter, I'm usually linen tint skin, which turns into light to 10 in Skin Twin. So then I assumed I would go to light 230. The light 210 has a neutral undertone, and light 230 has those golden undertones. So when I went to 230, I looked really yellow. So I went from light 210 to medium 310 because the undertones were the same. So you don't necessarily go directly up and down on the color thing. You're going to want to pick out your undertones. And if you have a more olive skin type and skin tone, depending on if you have lighter skin or darker skin, you are most likely going to be that neutral undertone, because you're going to add, with golden, you're going to add more yellow, gold, warm on top of your already more olive complexion, and you're going to look a lot more yellow. And I have a friend who has more of an olive skin tone, and so she thought she was going to be like medium 350, I think it was, and anyway, she was down in the tans because of the undertones. So if you need any help with color matching, let me know. You're doing it? I'm doing this one, she said. She's doing a really bold color. You what? You want me to do? Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I don't really know what's on my lips. Okay. Oh, you just, beautiful. Yes. So one kid's got eyeshadow on. One kid's got lipstick on, and they just had a bath. This is why, friends, you choose safe cosmetics, because you don't know which little lips and fingers and everything are going to be in there. And she's not even going to eat heavy metals tonight because this stuff is safe. So what was I saying? Color matching. reach out to me, send me an email, drmegan@meganburt.com. Megan has an H, Meghan, and Burt is BIRT. I will help you because I want to make sure that you choose correctly. And Beautycounter does have a 60-day return policy, so if you choose wrong, you can return it for free, and you can choose something else. Or if you get a product, skincare, or makeup that you think you're going to love, but you really don't, you can return it. And so I just want you to know that, because buying makeup online can seem a little intimidating, but most people do, most people do guess correctly and do a good job with that. But I'm doing more color matching with Skin Twin, but people are loving, especially like me, I'm loving having a color that I like really fall into, because I was mixing two in the tint skin. Now I don't have to mix, but it can be a little tricky at first. So I want to make sure that you have those tools and everything. So there is putting on my makeup. I did it in a very long amount of time, but mostly I put my makeup on in 5 to 10 minutes. I don't take a ton of time. I put the Flawless in 5 on, or like I did a little bit more. And this is probably the most makeup that I wear, because I feel like I really did my eyeshadow today, and I said I have no place to go with it on. But I so appreciate you coming and being a part of this. If you have questions or anything and want to ask them, let's say want recommendations, reach out. Oh, your lipstick is so, are you looking in the mirror? Her lipstick is beautiful, friends. It's just everywhere. You would just love, beautiful, she says. So thank you for joining. Hopefully, even though we had a little fussing amongst the kids tonight, I hope that it is as much fuss-free makeup for you, and that you can feel confident. Number one, I will say this: when you have good skincare behind the scenes, your makeup's gonna look so much better, and you're gonna feel so much more confident in your, just in your skin without any makeup on. I am very much like today, I didn't have any makeup on all day, and it just didn't bother me, even though I love putting makeup on. And then when you wear your makeup, it's going to just look even, just even more flawless, I guess, because you've got really good skincare behind the scenes. So I'm here to help you. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope you have a great evening.